Hey everyone, this is really crazy. Every year now, going forward, I receive 25% or 1/4 of the amount of money I invested in this stock back in the form of dividends alone. That's right, I hit a huge milestone in my portfolio with the recent dividend increase of 4.1% that Altria, ticker MO, just shared. That puts me above 25% simple yield on cost. I'm actually at 25.5% now, simple yield on cost. That does not even count reinvested dividends. This is why dividend stock investing in high quality dividend growth companies works over long periods of time. I wanted to take a moment today to share the math behind all of this because some of you might remember one of my very first videos here on YouTube, way back in the day, I shared this concept of yield on cost. I'm going to link to that in the pinned comment below. This is kind of an iconic video that I filmed. It's funny, I filmed it at the Bay Club, Redwood Shores, back when I lived in the Bay Area. I'm now here in Idaho in the Treasure Valley. Couldn't be happier filming here today. I want to share with you, though, how this math that I shared way back then has played out before my eyes. As you can see on the screen in front of you right now, this is just a summary of my experience with Altria. Over the years, I've been in it a long time. I'm a long-term investor. I started buying big MO back in 2009. My first tranche was at $15.99. The stock is now trading at $51.83, so I have earned 224% alone in capital appreciation. That's unrealized capital appreciation, that is. But I didn't even highlight that. That's not really why I do what I do. I invest for cash flow. I invest for cash flow that I can use to pay my bills. So when I bought in 2009, worth noting, the dividend on Altria, what was it? It was 32 cents a quarter. And so if I just look at my starting yield when I bought the thing, it was already a high yielder. It's an 8% yielder back then. If I just take 32 cents, I multiply it by 4, divide by my purchase price, I get 8% starting dividend yield. Hey, that's pretty good alone. 8%, that is amazing. And so I was happy in 2009 just buying for 8%, even if they didn't grow the dividend. But I had a suspicion. I had a suspicion that they would be able to grow the dividend. And boy, have they ever. I'm going to share that in the video today, in the math today. But check it out on the screen in front of you right now. I want to go through some of that. So if you fast forward to today, it's the 22nd of August, 2024. The dividend just got increased to $1.02 per quarter. Wow, that's a big increase when you look at the number of years. The dividend has gone from 32 cents a quarter up to $1.02. The dividend keeps growing. They increase it each year. The latest increase was only 4.1%, but there have been other years where they've increased it more. Now, going forward, I don't expect as quick of dividend growth, but I do expect dividend growth. So anyway, what's the current yield just right now? If someone were to buy Altria right now, today, what would the starting yield be? Well, I take $1.02, I multiply it by 4, I divide by the current share price. What would someone pay for Altria right now? $51.83. The yield is about 7.89%. Keep that in mind. This is a number to remember. The current yield right now, it's pretty similar on Altria to what it was when I originally bought back in 2009. Isn't that interesting? The current yield all these years has stayed the same because as they've grown the dividend over the years, the share price has also appreciated. The share price has adjusted. The share price has adjusted itself to keep this kind of 8% yield being the current yield that an investor can achieve when buying shares. Interesting. Check it out on the screen, though. I have more analysis to share. This gets really interesting. And so anyway, what is my yield on cost? My first tranche, simple, dividend yield on cost. Well, it's not 8% because the dividend has gone up. It's $1.02 times 4 divided by what I paid. My first tranche was $15.99. And so if I take the current dividends that I receive on an annual basis going forward after the recent increase today, I divide by my purchase price way back from 2009, I am now yielding 25.5% on that first investment, that first tranche. Put another way, and I put this in bold because this is a really big deal. This is the first time I think I've ever done this in my portfolio. Each year I make back a quarter of my initial investment just in dividends alone. This is why I do what I do. Seriously, dividend growth investing, the miracle of the snowball, the compounding. It's interesting. It's so funny because the math today, it's really impressive. Put in the comments below if you're yielding 25% or more on any of your tranches of stock that you've bought over the years. I know I have some of you out there because I've heard from you before. You've written in. Put in the comments below. Put how much you're yielding and what your stock is. The math today, it's so impressive. I'm really pleased with this because it's a reason to celebrate. It's just staggering, but it's actually better. If I did a different analysis, if I actually looked at the dividends that I received from Altria being reinvested to purchase more shares of Altria, which also pay dividends, which are reinvested, that purchase more shares of Altria. If I looked at the system that way and looked at the full snowball effect, if you will, of the dividend income stream, my non-simple yield on cost, kind of my true yield on cost, it would be even better. It would be even better. But I didn't do that today. I'm just doing simple yield on cost. Keep it simple. Keep the math simple because that alone is impressive. That just goes to show how powerful it can be when the investor selects the right company, buys at the right price, gets some value and buys a company that can stably increase dividends over long periods of time. Anyway, as you can see on the screen, let's look at this from another angle. And so it's interesting to understand that I started buying in 2009. It's now 2024. And so how many years have I owned this? And so about 15 years has elapsed, but it's actually more like 15.75 years because I bought it in early 2009. Now we're late 2024. So over this period, here is what has happened to the dividend. It's gone from 0.32 per quarter to 1.02. I show my math there. I show the formula. How can I calculate, how can I compute the CAGR, or compound annual growth rate of the dividend? That's the formula. This dividend on average has increased by 7.64% per year, and it's compounded over all these years. Now, the recent increase was 4.1%. Going forward, I don't think it's going to be too much higher than 4% on an annual basis. So growth going forward may not be quite as good as it has been in the past. But I just wanted to highlight this example because it shows the value of long-term investing and dividend yield on cost. It shows a real-world example because when I shared that initial video on YouTube that really started this channel from the Bay Club, Redwood Shores, I had that conference room, I did my little video. I wasn't quite as eloquent in my speaking back then as I am these days. I was quite a bit younger. But I did the video. I wanted to show the formula, why I do what I do. Today, I'm pleased. I hit a milestone. I'm sharing with all of you in real life what happened. It really works. It takes time. It takes a lot of time, dedication, persistence. There have been a lot of ups and downs with Altria stock over the years. An inexperienced investor might get scared out of a position, might sell a position. When my stocks that I've done research on go down and I have conviction, I buy more shares. I accelerate my snowball effect, if you will. But I'm so excited to celebrate this milestone today and share with all of you that I did it. Over 25% simple yield on cost on my first tranche of Altria. In terms of full disclosure, I am long Altria, ticker MO. And also in terms of a friendly disclaimer, today's video, it's not investment advice. I'm not a licensed investment advisor. This video is just for your fun and entertainment. If you're going to go out and invest in the stock market, please consult your licensed financial advisor first. I'm just sharing my journey for fun and entertainment. It's possible to lose money in the stock market. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all in the comments section below.